Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tesla stock is up over 5% today, which is actually surprising considering the news that is out today. Robin Denholm, the basically head of the board of directors at Tesla, says that if Elon's compensation package is not approved, he's going to be leaving Tesla, and value in Tesla stock will basically collapse. So the fact that Tesla is up 5% today, someone is confident that Elon's compensation package indeed will be approved. Now, we're going to be going over all of your Tesla stock specific news, what's happening in the broader markets today, and much more. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Check that link out down below in the description of today's episode if you want to come join the trading community. More on that in just a few minutes. Let's get into your breaking news today. It says here, just in, Tesla risks losing Elon Musk as CEO if the $1 trillion pay package isn't approved, per board chair. On Kalshi, the odds are 88% that it will be approved. I mean, anyone with two collective brain cells that owns Tesla is going to vote in favor of this compensation package. This is a very shareholder-friendly package. There's no reason why it won't get approved, okay? Besides ISS and some of these other proxy firms that are saying don't vote for the compensation package, I think everyone is basically going to vote for it, okay? The big guys like Vanguard and BlackRock, once we hear how they're voting, I think Wall Street's going to become more confident that the vote is actually going to pass. But as I've said before, there's going to be some nervousness potentially before November 6th. But the fact that Tesla is up 5.3% today kind of like looks like you're gonna about to break out here is a very good sign. Iowa Capital Markets has raised their Tesla price target to $420 from $300, citing an EV ramp-up and autonomous tech potential as key drivers. Tesla chair Robin Denholm on if Elon Musk's 2025 CEO Performance Award Plan doesn't pass. She says, quote, if we fail to foster an environment that motivates Elon to achieve great things through an equitable pay-for-performance plan, we run the risk that he gives up his executive position and Tesla may lose his time, talent, and vision, which have been essential to delivering extraordinary shareholder returns. Robin Denholm on Optimus says that Optimus can fold laundry. I've actually been in the lab. He can wipe down the table. You can actually shake hands with him. The tactile nature of his hand is actually very good. We're redefining robotics. Now, Robin actually released a new 2-page letter to Tesla shareholders warning what could happen if Elon Musk's 2025 CEO Performance Award Plan vote doesn't pass. She says, quote, without Elon, Tesla could lose significant value, as our company may no longer be valued for what we aim to become, a transformative force reimagining the fundamental building blocks of mobility, energy, and labor with products such as FSD and Optimus, and working to better humanity in the process. While there may be nothing wrong with being just another car company, our board believes that Tesla can be more, that our shareholders deserve more, and that Elon is the right leader to help us achieve our full potential. So, yeah, if the vote doesn't pass and Elon essentially parts ways with Tesla, you would see a collapse in the stock. And that's why, again, with some of these comments coming out today, it's a great sign that Tesla's up over 5% today. Like, if Wall Street was really like nervous and, you know, second guessing if the compensation package was going to be passed, I don't think Tesla would be up 5.3% on a day like today, where, again, Robin Denholm is saying, hey, Elon could leave the company if the vote does not get approved. But I just want to warn you, if the vote for whatever reason does not pass, which is a very low likelihood, but if it happens, Tesla's at least going to fall 50%. Not immediately. I would expect to see a 20% decline if the vote does fail. But it's going to be a bleed out after that, okay? So there really would be no recovering if Elon steps away from Tesla. I think the whole really investment thesis in Tesla is kind of dead at that point because you invest in leadership, okay? You're not investing in Tesla. You're investing in Elon when you invest in Tesla. That's just how it is. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas in a new Tesla note says, quote, "I'm calling it. Autonomous cars are solved. Do I mean 6 or 7 nines to the right of the decimal? No. Perfection? Never, but enough to pull the safety driver at scale in major metros." It says, quote, "From our discussions with Tesla, it appears the only thing preventing Tesla from pulling the driver is its own abundance of caution. Our understanding is that there is no other explicit regulatory approval required to pull drivers in Texas. A passive optical-only AV system would seriously challenge the conventional thinking of many in the robotaxi community. Tesla truly believes that radar and LiDAR do not make its cars any safer. It is our long-standing opinion that if you solve autonomy for cars, you solve autonomy for many other form factors of AI-enabled robotics, aviation, marine, weapons, etc. Tesla will have around 8 million vehicles in the global park by year-end. 12% FSD penetration, paying monthly subs and upfront purchasers, implies 1 million active paying users. If we were to apply the $99 a month subscription fee to all users, including upfront payers for comparative equivalency, implies approximately $300 million of quarterly FSD revenue or $1.2 billion annualized FSD revenue at a year-end exit rate. Assuming an 85% margin would apply approximately $1 billion of EBIT, accounting for 15 to 20% of total company EBIT, highly profitable, highly reoccurring. Tesla now has 30 Cybercab-related job postings on its website, all based in Austin, Texas, which is where it will be mass manufactured. Elon Musk said last week that the Cybercab production starts in Q2 2026. So it looks like, from what we can see, that is conservative, start date. I mean, they're looking to hire these full-time positions, and a bunch of them. Tesla's robotaxi app will soon allow you to select your airline and will help you automatically find the exact terminal and door you need to get to. The app will also guide you from baggage claim directly to the pickup curb. Sawyer Merritt writes here that Elon is required to reach both a market capitalization milestone and operational milestone to unlock each tranche. If he doesn't do both, he gets nothing. This is a very shareholder-friendly deal. Elon only wins if shareholders win too. The incentives are well aligned. Again, that's why if you're a shareholder in Tesla, if you vote no for this, you're obviously just a hater, right? Like only a hater would vote no for this. Because you're also voting that says, hey, Elon's going to be heavily compensated if you are heavily compensated. And there's no in between. In option activity in Tesla stock today, you have seen 151 different trades totaling $303 million with a positive order value of 87%. So, that's a lot of money heading into Tesla options today from hedge funds and institutions. Again, yeah, there's some positive headlines from Adam Jonas and a couple of others, as we've talked about in this video. But again, the big headlines are Elon is going to leave Tesla potentially if he does not get his compensation package. But again, yet, at the time of recording this video, Tesla is up 5.6%, and you have 87% positive order value. Somebody is betting that the compensation package does go through, and if you look at Tesla stock from a technical perspective, it looks really good. It looks like you're going to break out further from here. Again, I'm a little nervous to make some kind of large breakout call before November 6th. I talked about in an optimistic scenario, I do expect the markets are going to do well this week. Single stock volatility is going to collapse following hyperscaler earnings and guidance around AI. You're going to be getting a Fed rate cut on Wednesday with potentially the end to QT. You could rally to about $500 a share, but the larger rally comes for Tesla after November 6th. Okay, but today is again a really, really good sign that Tesla investors believe Elon is going to stay with the company and that the vote will be approved. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford says that Trump is finding excuses not to get a deal. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio and China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi discussed the Trump-Xi meeting. Qualcomm was one of the big winners today. Qualcomm has announced AI chips to compete with AMD and NVIDIA, which is interesting. Mexico's President Sheinbaum says we are close to reaching a U.S. deal on non-tariff barriers, and the U.S. is extending the trade deadline for several weeks. The U.S. Department of Energy forms a $1 billion partnership with AMD to build 2 supercomputers. Mexico's President Sheinbaum says we'll give it a few more weeks to close the issue of 54 pending trade barriers. President Donald Trump said he could serve a 3rd term in 2028 by first running as vice president and then assuming office if the sitting president were to step down. He said, "I'd be allowed to do it," Trump said, "but I wouldn't do that. I think it's too cute." Donald Trump says that he wants to meet with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. There is a 34% chance that it will happen on betting markets like Kalshi. More than 1,400 flights are delayed Monday as U.S. air traffic controller absence continues. There's been a lot of talk about the government shutdown, but with EBT benefits expiring and people not able to get flights, you're going to start seeing some real public pushback on the government being shut down. Politicians can play games if they want to. After all, they get paid. The military might not get paid. You might not have food, but Congress gets a paycheck regardless. But once you start to get people pushing back, once it starts to, disrupt more people's lives, it's only a matter of time. The clock is ticking to get the government funded. And that could be a positive catalyst at some point in the near future that could move markets to the upside. Auto loan delinquencies have surged to their highest level in 14 years per Fitch. The CNN Fear and Greed Index today is coming in at 37. Market momentum is extreme greed. Stock price strength is fear. Stock price breadth, extreme fear. Put and call options in fear. Market volatility is neutral. Safe haven demand, extreme fear. Junk bond demand, currently in extreme fear as well. Now, as we talked about last week, which I know service is not great. We are in the Kentucky area. I don't know. There's not good service over here. But the AI Investor Sentiment Survey is at about 44% bears, only about 38% bulls. So you still have a majority of this market that is more bearish than bullish, which is typically a green flag to be investing in stocks. And if we actually take a look at the VIX EQ today, the VIX EQ measures single stock volatility. It's actually going up. Okay, it's up almost 3% today to 41.25. Okay, you're at about 50% of the fear level in single stocks as you were during the, or 60% ish of the total fear you were at in early April. Okay, so people are still pretty fearful right now. Look at the VIX. The VIX today is actually down 2.5%, and the VIX is at recent lows. Okay, so what does this mean? This means people are really nervous about earnings. Okay, people are really nervous about earnings, specifically AI and hyperscaler guidance. Okay, you have to imagine the single stock volatility that is so elevated is around the hyperscaler earnings because they control like 30, almost 40% of the S&P. So that's really where you'd get the nervousness, right? On an equal weighted basis, like the VIX is, the VIX EQ at least, the volatility, the nervousness is all around big tech earnings. Now, we're going to have big tech earnings Wednesday and after hours really with Meta, Microsoft, and Google, and then Thursday and after hours with Amazon and Apple, okay? Once you get these earnings out of the way, you are going to see a volatility collapse, a vol collapse. And what that is going to do, let me give you a little bit of a secret. It's going to force algorithmically or from an actual human perspective to go out and buy stocks again, to go out and buy a bunch of stock. Why? Because when volatility increases, hedge funds, institutions, a lot of the time it's their algorithms that go out and sell stocks, they short stocks, and they hedge their portfolios, okay? Retail's version of risk management is we go out and buy the dip, okay? But after earnings, after people realize, oh my gosh, there's not a collapse in AI guidance, companies are doing very well. You're going to see that volatility collapse, and that's going to trigger buying on a massive degree. Now, Wednesday is also potentially going to be a big day because we get a Fed rate cut. And as JP Morgan and now other banks are suggesting, we could actually see the end of QT. So that's also bullish. Now, personally, I expected today was going to be a good day. Tomorrow could be a little more 50-50. Again, we do have some earnings. You have SoFi, PayPal, UPS, HSBC, JetBlue, Royal Caribbean, Wayfair, and some others, and then Visa and after hours. We're going to learn more about the consumer, and that's all great. But Tuesday, people could be a little bit nervous right before big tech earnings. Again, you're seeing the equal weight VIX going up today. People are clearly nervous around earnings. Okay. Wednesday in the morning up until 2 p.m., I expect some nervousness as well. Following the Fed at 2:30 p.m., Jerome Powell is going to get on the podium and give his, speech and take questions. I expect a rally after the Fed, which leads into hyperscaler earnings, which is likely going to lead into a good Thursday. Then once you get earnings on Amazon and Apple, Thursday and after hours, Friday is when this rally really gets going. Okay? So you haven't seen shit yet. Friday is when volatility collapses and the buying really starts. So let me know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Have a great rest of your day, and check out that link down below in the description of this video if you want to come join the trading community. We are going out finding these under the radar opportunities in AI, robotics, software, biopharmas. You get the idea. We're really looking for those alpha stocks, those stocks that are going to give you that 10x, right? And by doing so, hopefully taking on a less risky risk profile, because a lot of these stocks are high quality companies or high quality speculative companies that Wall Street is just kind of ignoring for other stocks. So check that out, link down below if you guys would like to come join us. But with that said, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.